Today we're looking at what could happen if Alex Pereira moves up to the UFC heavyweight division. How would he match up with top-ranked guys? We'll break down his key skills against each heavyweight, analyse strengths and weaknesses, and give you a prediction for each fight. Let's dive in, starting with the lower ranks. First, number 15, Rodrigo Nascimento. Nascimento is primarily a grappler with solid Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have the best wrestling to set up takedowns, but has decent ground control. Alex would need to keep the fight standing. If Nascimento could close the distance, he'd have a chance on the mat. But I'd lean towards Alex here because of his striking superiority. Marcos Rogerio de Lima brings both striking and grappling, but is unpredictable. He hits hard, but his cardio fades fast. If Pereira can weather the early aggression, Alex likely dictates the speed from that point on, like he did Roundtree, and gets the finish. Moving to number 13, Alexander Romanov. This would be tricky for Pereira. Romanov is a relentless wrestler who would be all over him. If Romanov successfully establishes control early, Pereira might not get up. I'd give the edge to Romanov, as his wrestling could neutralise Pereira's striking. At number 12, Tai Tuivasa. Alex has actually sparred with Tai and showed superior skill in controlling range and timing. Tai's a powerful brawler, but Pereira's technical precision and power would likely help him avoid getting hit clean while landing his own shots. In a straight-up stand-up battle, I'd give Pereira the advantage. 11 Derrick Lewis is similar, but even more one-dimensional. Lewis relies on landing one big shot, and Pereira's defense and ability to manage range would help him avoid that. Pereira could likely outpoint Lewis or knock him out if he stays disciplined. 10 Marcin Tybura and at 9 Jairzinho Rozenstruik are interesting. Tybura is well-rounded and mixes in takedowns, but he doesn't pose the same level of threat on the ground as others. On the feet, Pereira should have a clear edge in technique. Against Rozenstruik, Pereira would face a heavy hitter, but with fewer dimensions. Rozenstruik is dangerous if he connects, but Pereira's defensive striking would likely help him manage Rozenstruik's power and pace the fight. I'd give Pereira the edge over both Tybura and Rozenstruik due to his striking IQ. Next, we have number 8 Miocic. Although he's a legend, Stipe is now 42, slower, and past his peak. While he used to blend wrestling and striking perfectly, it's unclear how effective he'd be after such a long layoff. Pereira could potentially exploit Stipe's current physical decline with his power and accuracy on the feet, but prime Stipe would have been a nightmare for Pereira. 7 Sergey Spivak would be one of Pereira's toughest challenges in the middle of the rankings. Spivak is a strong grappler and would likely try to take Pereira down and control him. If Pereira lands hard early, he could change the fight, but I see grappling being a serious problem here. Edge to Spivak. 6 Jailton Almeida is another massive threat. His grappling is elite, and he's shown he can control opponents on the ground and advance position quickly. Almeida would aim for a fast takedown, and if Pereira doesn't improve his grappling defense, this could be a rough matchup. Almeida's game seems perfectly designed to exploit Pereira's weaknesses. Almeida wins here, I believe. 5 Curtis Blaydes has similar strengths. He's one of the best wrestlers in the division and has excellent takedowns. Blaydes could either keep Pereira grounded or use the threat of the takedown to open up his own striking. I'd lean towards Blaydes because of the gap in wrestling skill, but Pereira's power always makes him a threat. Number 4, Sergey Pavlovich is a more well-rounded striker with power and good hands. Pavlovich is also quick for a heavyweight, and his striking is better suited to a firefight. He has a Greco-Roman wrestling background, though he doesn't often use it offensively. And while Pavlovich has the edge in heavyweight experience, this is one of the closer matchups for Pereira in the top 5. It's a tough call, but Pavlovich's experience in the division might give him a slight edge, going with Sergey here. 3 Alexander Volkov is primarily a striker, but with his range and movement, he'd be a tough challenge. Volkov uses his reach well, staying active on the outside, which would force Pereira to adjust. However, in a recent video of Pereira sparring a gigantic professional boxing heavyweight, Pereira has shown his ability to close the distance extremely well on a taller fighter, using his head movement, slipping and ripping to get inside and cause damage. Volkov's improved takedown defense and overall size could create problems though. If Pereira can close the distance, he could definitely hurt Volkov. Leaning slightly toward Pereira because of his striking edge. Ciryl Gane is where things get very interesting. Gane is one of the most skilled strikers in the division, and this matchup would likely stay standing. Gane's speed, footwork and volume would challenge Pereira, but Gane's lack of wrestling means Pereira could stay in his comfort zone without worrying about grappling. This fight would be technical, with Pereira's one-punch power and Gane's speed making it anyone's game. Leaning to Pereira here as a result of his kickboxing pedigree, although it's close. Number 1 Tom Aspinall, the interim champ, presents a unique challenge. Aspinall is fast, athletic, and has solid grappling skills. His speed and movement in the heavyweight division are rare, and he blends his striking and takedowns seamlessly. Aspinall has already stated that if they fought, he would run across the octagon and rugby tackle Pereira to the ground immediately. However, Aspinall has a strong chance of finding Alex's chin, also with his ability to close the distance well. Similarly to how Roundtree closed the distance and got Alex in some uncomfortable positions. Alex likes to fight at range. When the fight is brought to him by an explosive striker, forcing him to go back, it can get hairy for him. Aspinall's explosiveness and ability to adapt mid-fight would put Pereira in unfamiliar territory. While Pereira has power, Aspinall's agility and grappling versatility could make him a serious problem for Alex. Going with an Aspinall win here. Finally, at the top of the list, we have Jon Jones, the champion. Jones has made a career of dismantling strikers, using his versatile grappling and unique range control. Against Pereira, Jones would almost certainly look to take the fight to the mat. The fight would look very similar to Jones versus Gane. With Jones's experience, strength and grappling IQ, this fight could be one-sided if Pereira doesn't land early. On the feet, Pereira would have a puncher's chance, but against the complete skill set of Jon Jones, Pereira would be a significant underdog. So to sum it up, the matchups where Pereira would likely shine are against Tuivasa, Derrick and Ciryl Gane, where his striking could really come through. His hardest matchups would be against Curtis Blaydes, Jailton Almeida, Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones, who could exploit his grappling gaps. In the end, Alex Pereira has a real shot at causing problems for the heavyweight division, but how far he goes might depend on who he fights and how he adapts to the new weight class. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe and let us know in the comments who you'd want to see Pereira face at heavyweight. If you want an Ivy League approved formula to naturally boost testosterone, check out our highly reviewed stack. The ingredients have been shown in studies to increase testosterone by 37% in just 4 weeks, used by fighters and athletes all around the world. Link is in the bio. See you next time.